to use agents to get date for your visa appointment?
Yes, yes. I would like to really know that.
Okay, maybe a few years back, I would have said, yes, it's very wrong. Do not do that. But now, given as it is, I cannot say it's wrong because there seems to be no way to get this date apart from using this agent. How they do it, I think they stay up late in the night. You know, I said earlier that I actually got a date for a couple of weeks. But then I would go back to saying, if you need to travel, you don't just up off and say, I want to go tomorrow and just go. You need to plan. Okay, so take me for instance now. My US visa is still valid until the end of summer next year. Now, we all know that you're probably getting summer of 2024, you're getting October 2024.
Yeah, yeah.
So now for me, I'm applying as we speak for my visa. And so if I get 2024 October, it works fine for me, because then that means my visa would have expired maybe just like 3 weeks prior to when I will be. You plan ahead. A lot of us will say, I still have a valid visa till the end of summer. Then they wait till September or October to start checking for date, and then they get 2025, which means you would have to be like a whole year or more than that without a valid visa. That's what leads to this desperation of trying to get a date by all means. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Yes. And then, contrary to popular beliefs, it's just not Nigeria. You have other countries that have the same issue with the US consulate. And all of these backlogs started with COVID, and then the fear that they say, oh, Nigeria is a terrorist country, everybody's scared. So what they think is that Nigeria barely exists anymore. So even telling someone that, okay, you work for the government and we'll be transferring you to Nigeria is like a death sentence to them. It feels like a death sentence to them. So they don't want to come back, because all they are hearing here and there is, oh, Boko Haram here. They don't even know what part of, they just feel like, maybe they just think like we have 100 people left in Nigeria. So it's like scary for them, and they keep declining and they don't want to come. And of course their government cannot force them to go. So in the embassy now, if you go, maybe if the visa issuing officers interviewing you would be like maybe 10 people in their cubicles, now you probably have 2. So you can just imagine, if you have like 1,000 applicants in a day. Exactly. If you have 1,000 applicants in a day and you have 10 people, you have only 2 people attending to them, of course they will just do the bit they can do for today and push it further. So that means they will just leave an open window for maybe like 5 applicants or 10 applicants for one day, and then you have 1,000 people pressing it at the same time. So that means the dates are going 10 10 10 10 10 10. The dates are just going far and back, and that's it. So that's why it makes it really, really frustrating to get dates. But then if you keep trying, you can get dates, because some people cancel. And peradventure, if you are forced to use agents, which like I said, it's not bad to use them. Don't pay so much. 500 grand seems like a lot of, it's so much money as far as I'm concerned. But then I would say, always check. I say it every time. No matter how much your agent has said to you that if they have everything under control, everything is fine. Because you know what? This family that went for the interview, if they had actually checked, they would know that they were going down the wrong lane. Because on your visa confirmation page for the appointment, you would have the visa type written on it. You would have the priority written on it. So for them, what they would have had was a diplomatic visa, not an ordinary visa. And it would not show B1, B2, it would show priority. So if she had taken the time to read, she would have seen all of this. So I'm sure maybe someone that has
really contrary to what she filled in our
exactly a confirmation page for the appointment, and then you have there, it says priority, and then it says diplomatic. So you can just imagine, you now get to the visa issuing officer. He has your form right in front of him, and he can see diplomatic, he can see priority, and then he asks you why you're going to the US or what you do for a living, and then you just say exactly, and you just go like, oh, I'm a businesswoman, oh, I'm going for vacation, and he is looking. That's why the question he kept asking was, how did you get this date? Because obviously it means that you got, because these agents, they do anything. You'd find them, they would give people looking to go for just tourism purposes, they will get them a student visa, a student appointment date, sorry. Some people, they will get them a medical appointment date, and then maybe you get to the embassy and the person interviewing you is expecting you to back up with documentation showing your hospital appointments, your doctor's correspondence, and then you're talking about going to Florida. You're talking about going to see the Statue of Liberty, and of course you will know there's something wrong. Or maybe as a 60, 70-year-old woman, they have gotten you an appointment for a student visa. Immediately you get in, you know that there's fire on the mountain. So yeah. So that's what happened. So like I said, it's not bad, because sometimes we are frustrated, we need to use these people. But if you are using, we were talking about that before you joined us, if you need to use an agent, make sure you do your own research, make sure you check and confirm all the documentation they're handing to you. Your friend now, even when the ban is lifted, I don't know how she'll be able to apply anymore, because she has absolutely no idea of the information that has been filled in her form. The only thing that can be the same is her name and her date of birth. Anything aside then, they might have changed her address, they might have, of course they have changed what she does for a living, because for them to say you are a diplomat, so you can just imagine. So after the 10 years ban, she's still going to have a lot of struggle to be able to get a US visa. So I always say to people,
I'm even thinking that I still can, because I'm wondering, why would the agent have done that? Why would he have, after taking that sum of money from them, why would he still have gone ahead, to give them details that were not their own? It puzzles me. It just shows how badly this agents can make one this safe process become. That's just it's a very pathetic thing. Very sad.
I'm sure you just spoke with your Christian mind. you just spoke with your Christian mind, because a lot of people in Nigeria, not even agents alone, this idea of get rich quickly, they don't care any way they are making this money. The agent doesn't care. He just wanted to justify the 500k he got for them, and the only way he could have justified that was to get them an appointment date as soon as possible. Now the agent didn't know that they were going to get into trouble, but the minute they started calling him, he would have sensed that. Now if the interview had gone on fine, and then your visa application was either approved or denied, if they had tried to call him once or twice, that would have been it. And the next thing, she might have sent a message saying, oh, visa application denied, visa application approved. But the minute she started calling insistently, the guy knew something was up. That's why he didn't pick up anyone's call. So it was a smart one on you guys' part to set him up, because I'm sure that's the way you got him, right?
Everybody tried him, he wasn't speaking. So eventually, like about almost a month later, somebody tried him, and then he picked. He saw the coast was clear, and that was. And
of course, he was looking to make another juicy cash. So of course, he wanted to get back into business.
Another innocent person would probably have, gone ahead and become a victim too. So that was why I was reeled into the police station until he showed up. My friend wasn't let off the hook like that.
Can you just imagine?
That, he said, okay, fine, madam, you don't have to come and show yourself at the station anymore.
So she used to report at the station. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, she was told to report, I think, about like twice every week until the guy showed up.
You can just imagine.
Until the guy showed up. I think it was just left because they felt like, okay, this is a respectable person. This person wanted to travel. And, she had all her own forms duly filled, and the details she filled were quite correct. As against what the guy that got them the date filled for them to secure a date. So eventually, when the guy was picked, then they were let off.
That's such a shame.
She's not going anywhere. The U.S. Embassy again.
I can just imagine. It must have been like really traumatic. The poor woman and her husband, her children, to go through that. You know, they probably woke up that morning, went to the embassy, and was looking to come back home with their visa, and then of course they end up in jail. Like, I can just imagine.
Drama, and then it was from one thing to the other.
You know, she's lucky she didn't lose her job, because you know some people might get in touch with your.
She was scared of that initially. She was like, "Oh my," because you know the way the police men were going on and saying, "Well, if you don't tell us the truth, how to get this guy? We'll report you to your office. We'll do that."
You can just imagine that.
So like, it wasn't even because of visa anymore. She just wanted off. She just wanted out.
Like her name cleared, and her life back to normal.
Yeah. Eventually, I'm really glad they got the guy, and I'm glad. It was just an answer to prayer.
Yeah, I know. A lot of praying must have gone down too. I can only imagine. Thank you so much, Dejari, for joining us today. We had a wonderful time chatting with you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
On 103.5 FM.
iṣẹ́ tá a bá ń ṣe tá a sùn lórí ẹ̀ tá a ń fi ọjọ́ gbogbo ṣe research dájú sáká àṣeyọrí irúṣẹ́ wọn yóò yàtọ̀ sí tẹlòmíì gédégédé Tosmania cooling depot kò lè má rí bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo oníṣẹ́ ìgbàlódé tí wọ́n fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ tiwọn ló jẹ́ kí wọ́n tayọ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó bá rọkọ̀ tuntun tó ra tòkunbọ̀ tí ò fẹ́ máa kàn gùn tátá fọwọ́ nu ògùn balabala Tosmania cooling depot ńlọrọ̀ kan èèbó tó ṣe air conditioner máa ń torí ìdẹ̀rùn ni wọ́n fẹ́ fún gbogbo awakọ̀ lójú pópó tí Tosmania tó bá gbé AC jù sọ́kọ̀ dódó mìnìjọ̀jọ̀ ní tutù pẹ̀sẹ̀ tuni lára gbowó tí wọ́n bá wá gbé pẹ́ẹ́lí díẹ̀ ju tàwọn yòókù lọ ìtura ibẹ̀ àìlèdíyelé ni Tosmania cooling depot automobile air conditioning special iṣẹ́ yìí dá wọn lójútù ẹ̀wẹ̀ tọ̀wọ́n laabo nílò auto spare part service training maintenance refrigerants radiators cooling fan àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ Tosmania cooling depot ó ti wù kálẹ̀ kabadi ní number 7 NTA road Ìbàdàn bí AC ọkọ̀ rẹ bá yọnu tó o fẹ́ di tuntun bọ́ọ̀ fẹ́ gbéṣẹ́ fún wa kúkú pé nọ́mbà kó lè bá a yá 08035672517 09012393445 tàbí 09154679777 Tosmania cooling depot owó rè ọjà rè.
Ọlọ́run máa gbàgbé mi o.
pẹ̀lú ọlọ́run elédùmarè ohun gbogbo ní ṣíṣe ohunkóhun tó bá wù kó máa dojúkọ ìpàdé àdúrà òwúrọ̀ yíyanjú solution morning ní kó máa bọ̀ àṣẹ àtòkè wá sínú ìjọ grace and power evangelical ministry tó wà ládojúkọ orí ọ̀fẹ́ nostrum primary school jagun gbági bus stop old ife road ìbàdàn níbi tí olúwa ọlọ́run alààyè ti lo evangelist ṣèyí ọlábàmíjì àti ọ̀pọ̀ ìránṣẹ́ ọlọ́run mìíràn òtákòtú olùkọ́yọ ó wá lélẹ́lẹ́ ò tí ì bá nínú ìpàdé àdúrà òwúrọ̀ yíyanjú solution morning ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ yóò lójútùú aago 9 àárọ̀ ni máa wáyé ní gbogbo ọjọ́ thursday títí dàgbo 12 ọ̀sán ọ̀pọ̀ ló ti ń kọrin ọpẹ́ ní grace and power evangelical ministry ìwọ náà má gbẹ̀yìn o fún àlàyé tàbí ẹ̀bẹ̀ àdúrà ẹ pè 08055062128 tàbí 07032177914 olùgbàlejò evangelist ṣèyí ọlábàmíjì ló ní pẹ̀lú agbára ọlọ́run ìpè late reverend amos ọládẹ̀jọ lájídé ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ yóò lójútùú lórúkọ jésù.
On 103.5 FM.
Not now. And thank you once again, guys, for staying tuned. This is still Travel Talk with Funmi on Honor 103.5 FM. Before the short commercial break, we had a guest with us, Dejari, and then she did good, telling us about the experience of someone that tried to secure a date using an agent with the U.S. consulate to get an appointment and how she got into a whole lot of trouble. So, like I was saying, we were talking about agents generally. Is it good to use them? Is it DIY?